Hey Flosstube, this is Tara with Wooled Woman Crafts, and it's Leap Day. It's the end of February, which on the one hand went fast, but on the other hand, just wait to see what I have to show you. It feels like it was a very long month. It was an extremely productive month for me. And honestly, I feel like I need to cool it a little bit. I went super hard, but as you'll see, there's plenty of plans ahead. March, I think, is going to be another extremely busy stitchy month, so I have lots of goodies to show you, and I hope you are ready to see a ton of cross stitch. I mean, I guess, I don't know, I don't want to say your expectations too high, but I have multiple fully finished objects, a very rare thing for me, but it seems like my kind of like whip go, FFO go board is really motivating me in the way that I hoped it would, at least for now. It's only 2 months into the year, but yeah, lots of good stuff. So let's go for it. Like I said, I have my notes over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finishes this month and 5 fully finished things. Crazy. So February, if you watched my last Flosstube, is Febuaviary, meaning we try to focus, we who participate, we try to focus a lot on birds, and that is the theme, basically, just anything with a bird on it. And so I started the month, I think I actually filmed on February 1st of this month for like my January updates, and I already had a finish with my pocketbook peacocks, and I apparently was on, yeah, just on a kick of let's knock out some old pieces. So next up, I even brought a board today, was Silver Bells by Lindy Stitches. So this was once again, I'm just gonna trust, the color always looks better when I look back at it than it does like on my screen while I'm showing it to you. But yeah, this is a Lindy Stitches piece. Silver Bells uses DMC and 3 shades of Forbidden Fiber Co. This initially was released in the 2022 Nice List box from the Black Needle Society. So I got the called for fabric from that, which is Forbidden Fiber Co. Frozen, which I think is a standard like color that you can get. And I think it's called for, I think I have another cut of this for like the Gilmore Girls, the Raining Lorelai's piece, but that I've never started. But anyway, yeah, I just adore the colors on this. It was such a unique palette and it just came together so well. I really, really love it, and great use of the variegation in these like tail feathers here. So yeah, this is 32 count, man, I'm out of practice, 32 count linen in Frozen by Forbidden Fiber Co. And it looks great. The model finish was on a, oh, I didn't realize I had a little orange thread there. It was on a pillow, and I like it. I'm not really sure what I want to do with this just yet. It could be a cute like standing flat finish, I think. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I want to finish this one just yet, but we're very happy to have it done. And next up, I don't actually know if there's a bird in this one. I don't know if I can swing this one as a bird. But my next finish was Pirate Quaker by Bendy Stitchy Designs. I think really just at the beginning of the month, I was in a finishing mood, and I just wanted to go for stuff that seemed like easy wins to just kind of knock them out, to get my whip count down a little bit, because I knew I had a lot that I wanted to start. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of knock some stuff out. And I will say, so this pattern came from the Starlight Stitchery's Pirate box that was, I think last year, I think 2023. And this was, yeah, Michelle G of Bendy Stitchy's contribution to that box. I love this chart. This was my first Quaker, and I stitched this on 36 count Cafe Misto by Fiberlicious. And I will say, There were 5 Forbidden Fiber Co. flosses that came in the pirate box, and Michelle called for all of them in her design, and that white just disappeared. I'm hoping you can see it. So basically, like, there's a skull here, and then this is actually like a compass rose, and so it has north, east, and south. Did I realize this pretty early on? Yeah. But I decided I don't care. I really like it, and I think it gives it a little bit more of that like aged look. It looks more like, you know, it was found on a pirate ship or something, weathered. So yeah, I did this, and this was one of my forays into one strand on 36 count. And I definitely think for, you know, like this kind of section and stuff, I really do like the look of the one strand. If you heard me talk about it in relation to, what was the other one I did it on recently? I don't remember. I did, on the Clue house in October. I was really not too sold on it, but I like, for this one, I like the look a lot. I'm very happy with it. This is another one. I have no idea how I want to finish it. I actually, if you participated in the Superb Owl Stitch In with Steph of Lindy Stitches and Kathy of Hands On Design, they co-hosted the Superb Owl on Stitch In on Super Bowl Sunday, and they had a finishing section, and I really loved that. It was really cool to see like you know, just what people were working on, what people didn't know how to finish. I put my name in to try to get assistance because I'd actually finished this on that day, which was great. But didn't get called. That's okay. That's okay. We'll figure it out at some point. Just add it to the pile. For everything that I'm like, yes, I'm taking things out of the, they're not languishing in the finished pile. They're becoming fully finished. You know, that's 2 more that I don't really know what I want to do with, but that's okay. So next up, this one I am counting as a February count because there's a small little crow on it. So this project I not only finished this month, but fully finished. And that was largely due to the fact that it came with all of its finishing supplies. So this is Evening Stroll by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And this is a crow. It says so on the pattern. So I was not sure if it was like a rat or something, or I wasn't sure, but it says it's a crow. So it counts. So this is a February win. That's 3 for so far. Yeah, so this is a beaded kit. This was Autumn Lane's like first kind of foray into making almost like Mill Hill style kits. So this came in their, so many box finishes. This was in their Halloween box last year, which is the first time I got an Autumn Lane Halloween box, and I loved it, loved the charts, loved this piece, loved that this was a full kit. So this frame came with it, and it has a little easel. So it's all ready for display, which we love. But yeah, so some pretty purple beads, and then lots of like black beads in here, and then like the little bit of yellow. So very nice use of the beads, I felt. And then I actually put a sticker on the back here. I have some of these also from Black Needle Society, these like stickers that have project details on them. And so I just smacked one on the back of here, and I am thrilled with this finish. So very happy about that one. I ended up, here's a fun tip. I don't know if this will apply to anyone else, but oh gosh, let me see. I don't even know if I can like demo this well. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So, if you have watched my channel for any amount of time, you may know that I am very attached to my Lowry stand. I really love two-handed stitching on a frame on a Lowry. That is my preferred way to stitch. So picking this up, it is full coverage. It is more stitches than I expected when I was like, oh, I'll finish this. This took several days of stitching this month to finish. And I got really fed up stitching on perforated paper because it does not go into a frame. And I was pricing out, I have seen some folks, I think like Connie of Count Twice Stitch Once, talked about it on her channel, but she found these magnetic wooden frames on Etsy, that, like I said, they're frames that are held together with magnets, like my frame that I used for Santa's stamp collection, if you've seen this. This is like the bottom half of that frame. But I went and priced those perforated paper frames out on Etsy, and they are like $60 a frame. And it's challenging because, you know, I've never had a perforated paper piece this large, so to buy a frame size that would have been appropriate to work on this, it wouldn't work on any, you know, little Mill Hill kits that I have, or any of like the Satsuma Street kits that I tend to do, as far as perforated paper goes. So that's a pretty hefty investment, but I was sort of at my wit's end, trying to finish this up. I was so fed up with holding the paper and one-handed stitching. It felt so slow. And so what I ended up doing is I snagged this frame, which this is a like magnetic poster frame on Amazon. This was like $8. And, you know, like I said, there's another side to this that, you know, you would hold something between it. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. It's also wooden and magnetic. So I sandwiched my perforated paper in between this, and I put this into my Lowry frame. So there you go. I mean, obviously this is really wide, but you can buy these in much shorter, I don't know how much shorter, but a little bit shorter than this. I think this is maybe like 10 inches, and I think they went down to 7 inches. So you could buy an $8 little wooden thing, and it will hold perforated paper. Just my 2 cents. I was done at the end of this, but I'm very happy with the finished project, so I'll show it one more time. But that was my little workaround for a frame for perforated paper until I decide whether or not I want to make that kind of investment. So that is that. Okay, so next up were my 2 Whip Go calls of February. So if you haven't heard of it before, I will give you a top line description, but Whip Go is a bingo board where people often put projects that are works in progress on the board. It is called by Jessie Marie. The numbers are called by Jessie Marie Does Stuff on Instagram. She has a Facebook group. She started it. And it is fully up to interpretation. And so this year, as my first try at Whip Go, I made mine into a fully finished object board, or my FOGO board, as I'm calling it, my FFO Go board. And the 2 calls for this month, I finished. So the first one, I finished into my Stitchy journal, which if you haven't seen this before, this was a kit that Michelle, Bendy, Stitchy, and Twisted Rabbit Creations, I believe, or Twisted Rabbit something. Hopefully I have that up here correctly. This was a collaboration between the 2 of them. And so Michelle, this is where this chart, if you've ever seen Oddworld, this is where this was first released, and it was meant to go on the cover. So I did that a while ago. So I have not finished a ton in here yet, but we have another one to add to the collection. So it's not fancy, okay? I'm gonna just preface y'all. This is the objective with me in this journal, is I am smacking it in and I am not thinking about it too much, because if I think about it too much, I won't get things finished. So my first call was Unwelcome Sign by Frony Ritter Designs. And so I smacked it in here. I gave it a little Nevermore, so a little February, anyone? And a little gravestone down here. And I put a couple notes in, just like dates I worked on it. And that the fabric was a giveaway prize from the Seattle Stitcher. This is Jackson Fabric Arts in Seoul, 32 count linen. And yeah, I just smacked it in there. Just glued it right on in. I do think I put interfacing on it. Maybe I didn't. It's in there now. So that was my first call for the month. So that was exciting. And then my second call for the month is a framed piece. So here we go. Here she is. So this is Mushrooms of Hyrule by Sirious Stitches on Etsy, and I love it so much, and it's hanging on the wall. I am so thrilled. I'm so happy to have this like all together. So this is actually a custom frame that I ordered, and I ordered this on Modern Wall Framing Co. on Etsy. So I have a lot of thoughts about the experience, which was fantastic. It was such a good experience buying from them. I measured my stuff. There's so many good instructions on their Etsy page of how to order. So I did, even though they offer like a bajillion sizes, none of them were right I ordered 3 frames. So we'll put a pin in that, come back to the other 2 later. So this is one of the 3 frames that I ordered from them. And this, so yeah, none of the pre-listed sizes, of which they had like 20, were the right size. So I put in a like fully custom order, and they got back to me super quick. There's no upcharge for a custom size, and it got out to me pretty dang quickly. Like they had a projected shipping date, and it shipped on that date. Got to me fine. Everything was packaged amazingly. There was no movement happening in that box. It was perfect. And I also really love, so you can tell them which way the piece will hang, and they install hardware for you. It came with this nice cardboard back with their sticker. I added my little sticker because I was on the sticker kick. And there's actually acid-free foam core that also came with this frame. So that is what I mounted it on. So yeah, I laced this myself. So I would say if you feel like you're capable of framing, but you want like a really nice frame for something, this is a great option. It's obviously not as cheap as thrifting a frame or, buying maybe something with coupons off, a box store shelf, but it is certainly cheaper than custom framing. So for like the only reference point I have is, like I said, I bought 3 frames, 3 fully custom frames, and the price of that was cheaper than what I paid to get one thing custom framed at Michael's with all the coupons. So I'm pretty happy about it. It also came, here, I guess I can show you. So every frame also came with a picture hook. So like I said, I just popped it in there, smacked it on the wall. So unfortunately it is not in a shot you can see, but I can see it, and that is working for me. So this is Mushrooms of Hyrule. And this was stitched on 28 count Be Stitch Me. Let me check. 28 count Be Stitch Me fabric in the color My Precious Linen. Yes. Okay, so that is that. So that was a big one. So this was my other Whip Go call. And I will tell you in plans what is coming up next. Okay, perfect. So that was a fully finish. Next up, crazy fun. I started the Black Needle Society's Celebrate All Year Stitch Along. So this is a 12-month stitch along that every month they are releasing a pattern that is related to a national celebration that is not really like it's not going to be like Christmas or 4th of July. Like it's kind of more of those loose kind of nebulous sound sort of fake holidays. So January's was National Hot Tea Month. So I not only like fully finished this, but I finished the framing situation that they sent for this in the 2023 Nice List box. So here it is. Oh, it's not really centered. Pardon. So this is the frame. I stained the wood. It was kind of like untreated, it was like unstained wood or whatever. And so I stained the wood with, actually I have it sitting right here because I haven't put all this up yet, with dark walnut, Varathane wood stain from Michaels. And what was interesting, I don't know if you could tell, is that so on this side, it all kind of took this like dark walnut color, but on the other side, on all the pieces, it was like much lighter. So luckily it was uniform, so I just had a very specific right and wrong side, so I just tried to glue all those together. I do still want to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit, but I think this is, you know, this base color is what I'm really happy about. And this is National Hot Tea Month, so it is all finished with its associated little kind of like lavender lilac rickrack. Very adorable. And she's all set to go. And then on top of that, hold on, hold your horses. Where did I put this? Here we go. So this was another fully finished object this month. It's got its little magnet. I had a start and finish and fully finish of February's piece. So February, so that was National Hot Tea Month for January. February is National Pie Month. Oh my gosh, I love it. So this one has a chenille, it's like a chartreuse chenille trim. Very fuzzy, very fun. Love the little pie slices, so vibrant. It's so cute. I'm really happy and I'm really proud of myself. Like, I feel much more confident that I'm gonna actually be able to like enjoy these stitches throughout this year as well as, you know, years to come, which I wouldn't have pegged myself as being the person to do that. So this is big. This is big. Obviously, again, it helps that all the supplies are on hand, all of the trims. This is like the called for trim, called for linen, called for everything, because it all came in the Nice List box. At least the fabric for the first 3 months, but we'll get to that too. So this is National Pie Month, which is funny because you think of March has Pie Day, right? March 14th. So I don't know why February is National Pie Month, but that's, you know, that's not for me to decide. So yeah, this one is done as well. Who even am I? Who even am I? So, and yeah, I was like, Julie was talked about like getting like a Flosstube bingo. I feel like there's gotta be a bingo somewhere in here. Julie, tell me if I hit it. Cause we've had 2 finishes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fully finishes and a start and finish so far. And we got more coming. So next up, I had 4 other starts this month with National Pie Month. So that was 5 starts in February. Please help me. This is why I was panicking at the beginning of the month. And I was like, we got to get some of these off the board because it's all coming up so fast. So, holy moly. So I will say, I did talk in my last Flosstube about participating in the hashtag Fab4 fan sal that Julie and Stitches and I think Cross Stitch the Globe are hosting. And I really wanted to. I looked at the threads, but I decided I wanted the fancy threads and it just was not, it was not in the cards for me to start this month. But, you know, one day I will start it and one day I will tag them and it will be fine. I know they'll still accept me into their stitch along. So I failed at that, but I did decide that for my like grand February start, I really wanted to start Armchair Ornithologist by Lindy Stitches. So this piece was sent to the Bird Crush Club members who were in the club for most of or all of the club, and it was kind of like a thank you at the end for participating. And so if you'll notice, all 12 of the Bird Crush Club birds are present in this chart. I love it. I love it so much. So I just think it's adorable. The Bird Crush Club has meant so much to me, and it's been very heartwarming to see a couple of y'all out there get inspired to bust out your Bird Crush Club birds as well. So I'm cruising on to the next chart. And so I did start this. I will keep using the board. And there she is. Oh my gosh. There she is. So a good little start. As you can see, I have done all the little bunting on the bottom and the words, and then I've started the foundation on this house here and part of the little chair leg. So this is a 32 count ballet slipper by Fox and Rabbit. Making sure I'm not misspeaking here. Yep. And this little needle minder is from the 2024 February box. So though I didn't start a February chart yet, a burb box chart yet, I did grab the needle minder at least because this was in the spirit of that. But yeah, kind of a weird start for me on the bottom, but honestly it's because I have hacked into this piece already, and I measured it out and I thought it would fit on this strip, but I was a little bit worried. So that was kind of like, I wanted to do the letters at the bottom first to make sure, because I can keep going up, but I'm kind of stuck on this peninsula of fabric, if you will. So there it is. And then I do have all of the DMC on hand, but the one little change I'm going to make is I want to adjust the person in the chair, the girl in the chair, to look a little bit more like me. So I pulled two fancy threads. So one of them is I want to change her hair color. So I found this Color and Cotton limited edition. I think this is from, this is Big Head Want Dolly, which I have pretty dark hair and I didn't want to do just straight 310. So I feel like it's pretty close. It's pretty dang close, especially like, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's kind of like a cool and a warm side to this shade, and the cool side is almost like dead on. Like you can't even see it. The warm side's a little warm, but that's okay. I'm gonna give a little dimension to the hair. So yeah, I think this was a Gilmore Girls thread from, a Stars Hollow box from Black Needle Society. But so I picked that, and then I have been really rocking the crew necks of late, and also this is one of my favorite colors to wear, not too off what I'm wearing today. So I picked to replace the sweatshirt color, I picked this Dinky Dyes from the 2023 Bird box, which is Kuranda, or however you would pronounce that. So I like this as well. So that is kind of the two little changes I'm planning on doing, just to, like I said, her skin tone's close enough. I'm not gonna get too nitpicky about it. And I'll change up her hair a little bit, and I think it will be very cute. So I busted out my bag that I had stitched for the Bird Crush Club. It's back in business. It's good. So yeah, here, in case you forgot, this is what. So yeah, we'll give her a dark brown messy bun and an olive sweater, and that will feel more like me. So that was a very fun start. And then next up, I finally started this year's 2024 Stitch for Pride by D's 20 Stitches. Finally got my education and stitching together, and I actually caught up again as of like yesterday. So I am not using any of the called for, but I am really excited about how it is looking. Let me get my board again. excuse me, excuse me. I'm actually dead. I could look at this. I could look at this blue all day, all day. So far here, what we have is this is 32 count linen from Fox and Rabbit in baked clay. And the January segment in the blue up here is artwork that is inspired by Keith Haring. And the color that I chose for that is Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers Shades of Blue. And it's beautiful on the skein, but it's perhaps even more beautiful stitched, if I do say so myself. I love it a lot. I really do. I really, really do. And this is a shade that, again, she just sells. I actually bought a pack, so I have like shades of blue, shades of purple, shades of orange, like kind of your Roy G. Biv plus shades of gray pack. And you can buy these individually, but oh my gosh, oh, so good. And then February's chart is Kehinde, Wiley. Oh gosh, sorry, I forgot to remind myself how to pronounce his name, but love this motif, love this green. So this one, I'm almost out of this. I used a Bird Crush Club thread. This is Threadworks Grasses Green, and also really love how the variegation came out on that one. So yeah, I am very thrilled with the start on this and that I am caught up and I can keep going. So I have it orientated the right way, I think. And yeah. So that was, yeah, 2 starts and finishes. Oh yeah, I didn't even put these. Yeah, 2 starts and finishes on this as well. I am gonna count each month as a start and a finish since it is kind of like a spot sampler, could be completed separately. So I'm counting them as individual start and finishes. Lovely. Okay. And then lastly, my last start is, oh sorry, let me put this back in the bag before it's like it's already gonna be enough of a mess around here. So let's put this up. So my last start, I started literally a couple hours ago. And it is one that I have been waiting for. It has been highly anticipated to me, my Leap Day start. So this is living in a me-made bag that has some nice Hey Jude fabric. And this is my custom stamped cross stitch piece that my friend gifted me for my birthday. And I am affectionately titling it Fozzie and Fozzie because this is Fozzie, my cat, and then Fozzie the Muppet. And I don't know, we never really vocally decided how we wanted to spell Fozzie's name, but I felt a Y felt right, but I don't think that's how you spell the Muppet. So it's like Fozzie with a Y and Fozzie with an IE. No one cares. Anyway, this is 220 by 220. Sweet Lord. But there are some stitches in it. So yeah, I just started on a nice little big patch of color there. You can kind of see at this distance the image, which is cool. So yeah, I'm gonna attempt to stitch this in hand. Because I worry that putting it in a frame might wear some of the color off, which is like okay because there is a full chart inside of this this paper, but part of the benefit of it is that you're supposed to be able to use the canvas. So doing that little section I did it in hand and I liked it. It went better than the 36 count linen that I tried over the holidays, that's for sure. And I threaded up all the colors on my Nerdy Needle Design Co. Millennium Falcon here. So it is 32 colors. And this holds 34, thank goodness. So yeah, this is all the shades. It is not DMC. They feel really soft to the touch, but again, I'll be curious to see how it goes. So far, putting like I put about 3 strands in. It does seem to kind of like fuzz up and look not so good. I have pretty long links, as you can see, because I am a loop start stitcher. But maybe that will not be the best in some of the lighter colors. The color I started with is like the equivalent of 939, this color here. And it looks okay. Like, you know, it looks fine on the stitch, I think, because it's so dark, but I do worry with lighter colors that it'll lose some of its sheen. So that will be something I will play with as I go along. There's a number of duplicates of colors, so it's a big project. It is worthy of a leap day start, I feel. I can totally imagine this taking 4 years. But yeah, so like the stitches look okay for now. So I'm using 2 strands. This is 14 count, and it's really good coverage for 2 strands on 14 count, if I do say so myself. So yeah, that was my leap day start. Not a long dog. Not talking me into it yet. Amazing. Okay, so last, we have 2 more things that I worked on this month, and these are that old chestnut. You know them, you love them at this point, I'm sure. So the first is my hashtag motif a week project, and this is Dinosaur Forest by Forest Embroidery. It is like a third of the way done. That's crazy. It doesn't feel like it. I think it is. Hold on, let me not misspeak here. I'll get psych myself up for lies. Let's see. Yeah, 33.7. It is just a third done. Which is fantastic. So yeah, so Julie of Julie & Stitches started hashtag motif a week, and obviously these are pretty big. Some of these are pretty big motifs. So I am sort of taking my own twist of it, and I figured out how many stitches I need or left in the project, and that I need 181 stitches a week to be done by the end of the year, actually. And so far, most weeks, not every week, but most weeks, I am actually exceeding 181 by almost double. So I am making faster progress than I would be if I was exclusively doing 181 stitches a week, but that's okay. And so far, you know, if I miss a week, then I kind of won't sweat it too much, because I know I have like a couple weeks in the bank. But otherwise, I'm sort of treating every week as a week that needs 181 stitches. I have not done this week's, so it's Thursday, so I've not done this week's stitches. But yeah, my plan is to keep kind of going up this direction to sort of check the top edge here, because I think I noted last time that I had much more of a border on the bottom than I was expecting, and so now I'm kind of nervous for the top. So we are heading upstream. And to give you some visuals, I think like these little plant motifs, there are 5 of them up the side before we hit this little corner flower. So I have 3 more to go. So I think I should be good, but I have heard tale that Forest projects can be pretty tight when you get their kit fabric, and it's not looking like that. And so I'm worried that I'm wrong, but we'll find out. So I will shout out, I am trying for the first time, one of the first times, to use a Bitsy keep. So I had these threads initially on that Millennium Falcon thread holder, but obviously I don't have a whole lot of thread holders that hold 32 colors, so it had to be promoted to a different, it had to get transferred to a different department, if you will. So I moved this to a Black Needle Society themed Bitsy Keep, and that is by the company That's So Kelly Co. So it's kind of a cute little product. So it, yeah, holds, what do we got? 12 threads. And then there's a nice like thread bed in the center, and there's a magnet underneath this logo. So it's also a needle minder. So it's kind of nice. I've been liking it. I have not written, it does come with like stickers, so you can put, you know, either on the back of the front what color it is, or you can just write on it in Sharpie, because this is, you know, I think like a plastic that if you wanted to, you know, you could do like the spray it with acetone and like clean off a Sharpie if you wanted. But I'd already been working with these kind of numbered 1 through 10 anyway, so I'm just kind of sticking with my system. But that has been a nice transition to use that. And we're making good progress, so I will probably get this out tomorrow. Yeah, and I said that was Alforce Embroidery, and that's like the kit fabric and the kit threads. I bought the full kit from them. And next up is my Twisted Rainbow sampler. So here she is. This is also on track. Unfortunately, I'm sure it just doesn't look as cool when it's not out of the frame, but for my own sake, we're not gonna really take it out of the frame, I don't think. But yeah, so we're still working on this specialty band, and I have completed this pass down. And so as you can see, I'm working these little donuts, these Jessica stitches. So I need to take the Jessica stitches all the way up, and this specialty band will be done. I explained kind of more in detail in my last video, but I have sort of mapped out milestones that I want to meet every 2 weeks, and that will also get this done by the end of the year. So these are like kind of my 2 big projects that I'm chipping away at, and I'm so far keeping my goals. So these Jessica stitches going up are due not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. So we're making great progress there, and that is on 28 count black Lugana from Zweigart, and is stitched with the Dinky Dyes silk pack. And it's looking great. Loving it. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna sip water. That's all the cross stitch. So now, oh my gosh. I don't even know. Okay, so now we're gonna move into, I have a couple plans, a tiny bit of haul, and then we're on our way. So one of my plans for March is I do want to participate in Battle of the Whips. This is inside my stitching planner here, and I think Fandom Stitching Central, the challenge Facebook group, is doing it. A lot of people have a lot of takes on this, aligning with like basketball's March Madness. So this is Battle of the Whips, and I have filled out my brackets, as you can see. So this year they only included like 8, what did you call them, seeds, is that right? There's only 8 seeds this year, and I did contemplate boosting that up to 12 again, but quite frankly, I think with I'm not going to include like Dinosaur Forest or Twisted Rainbow in this because they kind of have their own metrics that I'm doing. So with that, I just decided 8 is plenty. 8 is plenty. Like I said, I've been stitching a whole heck of a lot this month. I don't think I mentioned my total whip count, or my total stitch count for February, according to Notion, is in the like, I think I maybe got to like 13,400-ish stitches, which is a pretty high stitch count month for me personally. So in the interest of not losing all momentum, losing my mind, it's a long story to say I'm keeping it at 8. So our seeds this year, I like to try to pair them off and make a theme. So seed number 1 is small counts. And so those 2 pieces are The Astronomer by Heaven and Earth Designs. Maybe I'll just throw pictures of where these projects are at next to me because I don't want to go dig them out. So it will be The Astronomer, artwork by Miles Pinckney, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and Life Potion by Forbidden Fiber Co. Y'all, this cauldron continues to haunt me. But we're gonna keep trucking. We're gonna keep trucking. We'll have to see. Getting it out next month, I may try to go for some of the lettering just to feel like I've made any progress, because I have been drowning in this cauldron for a while if you've been here. So The Astronomer is stitched 1/1 on 25 count, and Life Potion is on 40 count linen. So those are my 2 highest count projects right now. So I know I called it small counts, but I guess it's like small stitches, high counts. You know what I mean. Next bracket is Halloween. And so these are 2 of my Halloween charts. So we have Bonaventure Morning Sampler by Park Hopper Bart and Winchester House by Bendy Stitchy Designs. And of note, these 2 are both from that Fangirl Fibers 31 Days of Haunted America box like 2 years ago. So that tells you anything. So yeah, hoping for good counts on both of those. Next up is the Christmas round. So these seeds are going to be To All a Good Night by Autumn Lane Stitchery that I started this past year, and Merry Meowmas by Stitchy Prose, which is a little cute biscornu. So those will be my Christmas bracket. And lastly, I had to stretch to come up with a common theme for these 2, but we're calling this the Vessels bracket. And that is because you'll see the first one is Tea Glasses by 8 Pixel. And there are cups on here. They're drinking vessels, okay? And then lastly, we have Salem Sisters Apothecary by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And there's a big cauldron in there too. So that's a vessel. Okay, we're going with it. So the way that I approach this, again, a highly unique, customizable, do whatever feels right experience for me personally. I will time myself for an hour and see how many stitches I get. And then whichever one gets the most stitches. You know, honestly, this year, hold on, we're thinking, the wheels are turning. I almost wondered this year if maybe I should pick the one that I got fewer stitches on to move ahead, because I'm slower on it. You know, because it's kind of counterintuitive if you're approaching it this way. And I mean, the whole thing is that it's like, yeah, pick. It says even in the instructions on here, move on to round 2 with the project with the most progress. But the one that I'm faster on. So I should force myself to work on the one I'm slower on. I want to think about this. So maybe it might be Battle of the Losers this year. We'll see. But yeah, otherwise, this is the squad. This is the setup this year. I had a good time with this last year. And yeah, looking forward to getting those projects out. So that is a plan for March. And then also for March, we had our 2 Whip Go, my Fogo calls. And I have one of them here. So one of them is Witch's Pantry. So I'm going to fully finish this into a flat ornament. I don't know. I have Halloween fabrics. This is me to me and to you. I have the materials I need. I could do this. So yeah, I'll probably do hands just a helping. So I will fully finish this one. And then my other fully finish, which leads me back into the frames, is Dark Queen of the Earth got called. So I mentioned at the beginning, I bought 3 frames. So one of them was for Mushrooms of Hyrule. One of them was for Dark Queen of the Earth. And the last one was for Must Be Possible, which is that big like Agatha Christie, like word art piece fantastic. The frames look amazing, and I kind of want to keep it a surprise. I don't really want to show them. I want you to see them in all their glory. I will let you know that the Dark Queen frame is very similar to the mushrooms one. Like, it has this kind of burled wood effect, but it is a different color, and it's a thicker frame because I think she needs that. She's got that gravitas, you know. I think she needed framing. So I have that, and I do actually want to put a call out for help if anyone can point me in the right direction. I believe, maybe I'm making this up, I believe that there is a product out there that spaces the glass of the frame away from the piece. And when I was trying to use search terms on Google for this, I was finding stuff that was like very customizable or like kind of long tubes or whatever. I don't think I need all of that. I just want enough spacing to get the beads off the glass, because she's, you know, got a lot of beads. And so I just want enough spacing to get the beads not smushed into the glass. Do you know of such a product that is not expensive and easy to get a hold of? Let me know, because that's the only thing that's kind of hanging me up on her, because that one also came, with foam core in the back. So she's all ready to be laced as soon as I have that spacer. So would appreciate any insights into that. Thank you. So those are the two WIPGO calls. And then the only other thing this month that I'm looking very much forward to is the Winter in Stars Hollow virtual retreat hosted by the Black Needle Society. That is like the last weekend in March. So that will be a start this month, which is kind of crazy to think about, that at the end of the month, I'll be starting Winter in Stars Hollow. But I'm ready to have that piece done. That'll be really exciting. Really looking forward to it. Looking forward to catching up with everybody, and, you know, let me know if I'm going to see you there. I always have a blast. I'm planning to take off work. I'm ready to be there all day, every day, and I'm committed. I got so close last year to finishing the chart during the retreat. I want to do it. I want to try to do it this year. So I may be pushing myself to be on later, up earlier. Like, let me know if you're around, because I'm ready to break my forearms trying to get this done, because I just don't want it to languish. I want it to be done in a good way, in an excited way, not in an I'm not excited way. So yeah, those are the three kind of big plans for March. And lastly, I have a little bit of haul. So first up, this is kind of not even really a haul. Another plan, sorry, this is kind of loosely plan / haul. I got in the mail my hashtag Team Rogue Round Robin piece from Julie & Stitches, and it's so beautiful. And I'm sorry, Julie, that I haven't started it yet, I promise. So she picked Green Damsel by Ink Circles. Incredible. And if you haven't seen this on her channel already, what are you doing? But if somehow you haven't seen it yet, I will show you. Here is her piece, and this is 36 count Regency linen by Picture This Plus. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. I love it. Love the needle minder, the theming. I love that we all tried to commit to the theming. It's so good. Ooh, seeing it, this makes me, really want to get it out. So she chose, it's 3 colors, and she did all rogue choices. So I'm very excited because I have not stitched with either of these brands. So the first brand is Night Stalker's Calling, and this is in the shade Blood Moon, this orange. Is that not incredible? And next up is Evergreen, which I love this kind of like, I think this is my sort of favorite style of overdyed, where it's more tonal. And I really am liking how it's sort of splotchy. And I mean, even though, like you saw on the Stitch for Pride piece, like a dramatic color shift can be really incredible, it's so striking. It just doesn't really work unless it's monochromatic, right? So I kind of like that this just seems like it would give you beautiful, lush dimension, but also not feel like you're sort of stuck planning where you want the color to go, if that makes sense. Anyway, I could go on. And lastly, she has a Most Sales Silk, which I have not used before. And this is in the color Charcoal, which is kind of it's like a very warm charcoal, but it is gray. And yeah, I mean, you can see in that green, like I said, just like delicious, like dimension without it being so variegated that sometimes it's like, oh, I don't really want like I did some planning with that little teal stitch on how I wanted, you know, certain parts of the color to lay. So I do need to start this. We haven't agreed on what we're swapping next, but obviously I'm not ready to swap. So give me another month, ladies. Okay. And then I had, yes, a little 1, 2, 3 stitch order. And I purchased, the next 2 fabrics for the Celebrate All Year sale. So the called for, they're so pretty and I don't have anything like it. So I got, this is navy. Just navy. I didn't own navy fabric by Zweigart. I got it in 32 count as well. And then this one, I love this. The color is Riviera Aqua. But this one, it is stiff. Are you looking at that? Like they're both Zweigart, and this is like much looser and this is much stiffer. So I don't know. I was gonna double check that this was color fast and maybe try to like soak this one. But I love this color and I'm not gonna need it for 4 months. So that's okay. Because I think if I remember correctly, next month will be one more of this blue gray that we've stitched on. So yeah, March should be on blue gray, but then April, starting in April, it should be on the navy. So I got those. And the one other thing I ordered was a thread for Winter in Stars Hollow. So I purchased, and I showed previously that for all of the Stars Hollow pieces, I have purchased the Forbidden Fiber Co. overdyed conversion. And I've been really happy with that. And I ordered it again and they look amazing. They look lovely. But we were given instructions that one color in particular, they were like, we really strongly recommend that you get the called for. It's not replicable. And so I took their word for it. I'm now wondering, anyway, that's for me to figure out later, but this is the color, Vintage Violet by Classic Colorworks. And it is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But I will say, in Leanne's defense, I feel like she got in the ballpark for sure. Like there's definitely a little bit more blue to purple. Like it's a longer transition, I guess, but I feel like the essence is in there. So if you got the Forbidden Fiber conversion and you were debating buying the extra thread, this is how it looks. So your choice. Your choice. I think I probably would have been happy with that. And what made me wonder is some of these, I noticed some of the Forbidden Fibers are 10-yard skeins and some of them are 6, and this is a 10-yard one. So did I need 2 of these? Might not be able to use it. We will find out. But anyway, so that will be a very exciting piece to work on. Yay. Okay, and then last haul, I don't even actually have yet. Once again, I'm playing Where Is It in the mail. I ordered 2 more modern hoopla frames from Modern Hoopla for my Bird Crush birds, because we're counting down the last 5 frames, but they need to be purchased somewhat individually because they're not cheap. So I have 2 on the way, and I don't really know what happened to them. They made it to Atlanta on Monday, and then they left. And they have not been scanned. They didn't get delivered, and I had my 1-2-3 stitch order as well. They both, like, 1-2-3 stitch is normally super fast, and it went to Atlanta, then Memphis, then Palmetto, Georgia, which I usually don't have mail go through that. I'm not really sure. I'm not even sure where that is in relation to Atlanta. And then it came to Atlanta again and was supposed to be delivered on Monday, and then it got rescanned in Palmetto and then came back to Atlanta. So I really have no idea. I don't know what went on. And Modern Hoopla, it shipped from Virginia, not that many states up. And so it went from Virginia to Atlanta, or to Palmetto to Atlanta, and has not been scanned since. So if you were here over December, I had a package that didn't get, like, had no scans from USPS for about a week, and it did eventually show up. So I'm just choosing to believe that it's gonna come, but not inspiring, that's for sure. So that is all that. The only other craft I kind of dabbled in this month, I don't know why I do this to myself, but I had a friend who's been having a rough time, and all I know is to force crafts on people. They are a long distance friend that I don't live near, so I was like, let's get you a paint by number. Slightly selfishly because I wanted to try paint by number. So I got one, and here, let me see. I'm not gonna, I don't know if y'all care for me to show you the canvas, but this is a picture of the piece I picked. This is not your mama's, paint by number. So this is an Ann Stokes piece. I feel like I've seen Ann Stokes in the diamond painting world, but I ordered from Masterpiece by Numbers, and it was, yeah, a really great kit. I feel like I will share more as I'm farther along. So far, I did it like one day, and I spent like 4 hours doing it, and it looks like nothing is done. But it's a really nice canvas, and yeah, if you have questions, please always feel free to hit me up. But I will hopefully share more about that as I have done more of it. But anyway, that was something I did earlier on in the month, and I do want to get back to it, but like I said, I've just been really pushing to try to get, I've wanted to catch up and do the sales and clear out things, and knowing that there was some big starts, like I said, Armchair Ornithologist is not a huge piece, but a bigger piece for sure. And the full coverage, I have a second full coverage. I didn't think this ever happened to me, so I just needed to mentally be in the space to start that, but I'm really happy about it. So again, like I said, that's all I have. I've been putting off the video game chat, but I will share a couple today. There has been a bunch of little ones, but I think 3 I want to highlight is I spent a lot of January playing Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga. So as the movies came out, Lego, like the video games, came out in different chunks. So I own the version that has like all 9 movies represented. And it's really fun. I think Lego is a really fantastic game for someone who, and they have so many franchises that are extremely popular. Like I've done Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean. They have like Marvel, DC villains, Batman, Jurassic World, like lots of franchises that are popular. And so it's fun because you're playing through movies that you like. And there's a lot to do. And also, again, if your mind is like mine at all, when I first approached video games, like I really liked the structure of levels and kind of knowing that I had specific objectives. Things like an open world game were really not appealing to me because I wanted to be checking off boxes. And so Lego, I think, really hits that, where you are sort of going through specific levels and you have specific things to collect. And you play through once in like story mode, which is where you're only playing as the characters that were actually in that scene in the movie. And then you go back through and play in free play mode, and you can play as any character that you want. And they all have different abilities and this, that, and the other. It's also like extremely family friendly. Yeah. So the Star Wars has been really fun. Been spending a lot of time with that. Much to do in those games. After I finished story mode, I was like, I need to take a break because they have escalated over the years. Like when I first played a Lego game, I committed to the Indiana Jones game on Wii, and the only sort of like overworld that there was the university where where Indiana Jones works at. And so there was like a couple little things you had to get in the university, but it wasn't really a big deal. And then when I committed to completing Lord of the Rings, that was kind of a bigger one. Like it had sort of this bigger overworld. You had to walk around the map. There was like specific things you had to do in specific areas. And I was like, ooh, this is a lot. But then I got, I figured out what was going on and I was like, okay, this is fine. Star Wars, this latest one, there are so many planets. There are things to collect in outer space. There are things to collect on the planets. Like the overworld aspect of the Star Wars is kind of killing me. So I just played through story mode. That's all I've done so far. And I've taken a little bit of a break, and we're going to decide if I want to try to go back to it, because I did 100% Indiana Jones and Lord of the Rings, which is not normally something I strive for in video games. But if you are the type of person that strives for 100% completion, there are games where just like diligence will pay off. You can totally do it. It's not like for example, Mario Odyssey is a great game that has a lot of collectibles. But to collect all of the little stars in there are like YouTube videos of like the 10 hardest stars to get or whatever. And some of them just like physically are so like, you have to be such a skilled player to accomplish these tasks that I would never do it. I would never do it. It's too hard. So Lego, it's not that it's hard to do these things to like, and there's plenty of guides. Like I'm not above a guide. I will just, work my way through a checklist, but it's not that it's like physically hard to go do these things. There's just a lot of them. So diligence pays off. But so anyway, if any of that sounds appealing, I have been enjoying the Lego Star Wars. And then the other two, these are both super short little games that are very heartwarming. So the first one I want to talk about is Aka. And this is I played this on Switch. I think it's also on PC. I'm not sure about other consoles. And you are a little red panda, and it's just very adorable. The art is beautiful. The music is beautiful. This one definitely falls a little bit more into that, like, you just kind of want a little experience. You're not looking to put your life into this game. I haven't double checked my play hours on it, but I have to imagine that this maybe falls in like the under 20-hour playtime before I got through like all the quests. And you could keep going, I guess, but I don't think you'd really want to. But it's a very like somewhat dark but sweet story. This little red panda has sort of just returned from war, and he is on this island, and he's kind of tending to it and also tending to himself and some of like the ghosts of his past and choices he made during the war. So a little emotional, a little sweet, beautiful art, like I said, beautiful music, just very like enjoyable to do. Not a long game, a cheap game, and not in like a like is a lower cost game. It was, I think I got it on sale for maybe like $12. And then last one, this one won a lot of awards, I feel, but this is Venba. I just played through this on Steam. I don't know if it's on Switch, but this is a great one that would run on, I think, most computers. Again, my laptop's getting like kind of up there. It's like 5 years old, and starting to show its age a little bit, and Venba ran totally fine. This is also kind of like a sweet tug at your heartstrings type story of a Tamil family. Tamil is an Indian family, and they live in Canada, and so they start as like a young couple, and you are experiencing the game through Venba, who is the wife and mother in this story, and you're kind of cooking dishes, and there's a little bit of a puzzle to it, like, because you're looking at your mother's recipe book and there's stuff that's like stained and you can't see it, and so there's a little bit of like guessing. But again, this game was maybe like 2 hours to play through. It was really short. It was really short, which is a bummer, because I think that they could have taken this, you know, I think even if you had like a playthrough story, I think that they could have done this sort of puzzle cooking vibe as like extended at the end or something. Like you could just keep cooking, because that was really fun to do. Again, beautiful beautiful art, beautiful music, great music, great art, heartwarming story, very quick playtime. But again, sometimes it's what you're looking for. Like right now, after Lego, I haven't really like landed on what I want to sink time into next. And so these little shorter games are really nice, and they have a beautiful story. And I think that like those stories are worth seeing. I think, you know, you just got to kind of cost analysis if it's up your alley, but I had a lovely time with it. Okay, so that is all I have for you for real. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I need to wash I don't know what is going on with my hair. I am sorry if that was like distracting, but it needs a wash, but I'm getting it. Anyway, wash day is incoming. Today's not the day. So, yeah, that's all I have for you. I hope your February was good, and you're looking forward to March. I am really looking forward to seeing both of the Stitch Along drops tomorrow. Looking forward to sitting with my stamped cross stitch. Really happy about that. And yeah, looking forward to hopefully catching some of you at Winter in Stars Hollow. It'll be good. I'm ready for a few days off work and a lot of stitchy time. So wishing all the best. Hope you are staying happy and healthy, and I hope to catch you in the next one.